4-year journey officially commences coming Thursday. Looking at the squad, there are a lot of theories about what you might do because you've got an Asian Cup on the horizon as well, Bangladesh and Palestine, that's heralded opponents. And it feels like you've gone to further continuity. 19 members of the squad that were present last window back in this one. What was your rationale when you were building this squad?
Yeah, look, I'm not focused at the moment on the Asian Cup at all. It's all about the World Cup qualifiers and getting off to a great start, which I believe we will. I've really enjoyed the last 6 months, I have to say, with testing a lot of players and giving players the opportunity in those friendly games that we had. And obviously the boys set their own standards in those games, and I expect those standards to continue right from the start. And as you said, Joey, it's the start of a new campaign, and that campaign is crucially important to qualify for the World Cup, and it starts all next Thursday here against Bangladesh, and and we've got to go out with that siege mentality to win every game.
And I guess taking the guesswork out of it, when you were building this squad, which players weren't available through injuries and the like, just so we can separate who wasn't picked versus who was injured?
Yeah, look, I think I've been saying it, Joey, for 4 or 5 years. Match minutes is the most important thing, and Milos Degonek is not in the squad this time because he hasn't played for quite a while. Matthew Leckie's obviously injured. Riley McGree's injured. Aiden Aristich is not getting any game time as well. So, I don't get time to get the players fit. They have to be ready when they come into camp. We get 2 training sessions, and those 2 training sessions are short on detail, and it's about just taking that energy out in the pitch and getting the job done. Yeah, look, I think if you notice the squad there, I've got 4 number 9s. I've gone for more extra strikers for these 2 games in different style as well. Yengi's doing exceptionally well at Portsmouth. He's obviously moved over in the off-season, but he gives us something completely different in size and speed. And, and I think that's important for these 2 games. Yeah, look, again, that's the goalkeeping front's down to John Crawley and that, but Joe Gauchi's, finally we can see him playing again. The A-League started, and I've been able to watch, 3 rounds, even though I want you to understand I had to put out the long list of selection 2 days after the England game, and obviously the A-League hadn't started. So there's players in the A-League that probably could feel a little bit hard done by, but once again, it's down to the fact that I hadn't seen him play. So Joe Gauchi has obviously had a very good season last season. Probably those 4 A-League boys that you're looking at had good seasons last season. Obviously, they've only just started this season, and Joe Gauchi's an up-and-coming goalkeeper and is doing well.
Speaking of those international friendlies against England and New Zealand, how much are those games going to inform your strategy going into the qualifiers?
Yeah, look, I think when you play those type of teams and, getting to play the number 1 in the world in Argentina and number 5 in the world in England and having those type of games, it really builds a belief in the players, Sometimes when you're watching them on TV and you're not playing at that level as a Lionel Messi or any McAllister or that from Argentina or the English players, that you can be a little bit starstruck. But I do think that after the games, the boys actually grew even more in their belief that they belong on the same field as those type of players. And as I said at the start, the boys have set their standards, and the standards are there. And it doesn't matter who we play against. I expect those standards to be the minimum of what they produce in the future moving forward.
And just onto that game against Palestine later this month, how involved were you in the conversations over location, considering what's going on in the Middle East?
No, that was a conversation obviously with the FA and the AFC and Palestine because it's their home game. But we have complete trust and faith in the FA's been working closely with the government. And Kuwait I've been to many times, and as I said, it's horrific with what's going on at the moment over in Israel and Palestine. And but my focus is first and foremost on Bangladesh before we get across to Q8 for that game.
Just following up on that, is there a bit of concern the Socceroos could be seen as like a bit more of the opposition, getting more of a sort of opposition crowd against you in that Palestine game, given the the feelings for Palestine overseas at the moment?
Oh, look, I think the most important thing is that we get ourselves ready for the game, and no doubt we will be ready for that, and that's the most important thing.
Andrew Redmayne as well, he's got an enormous profile for someone who's only had a few caps and Holland journey. Is there a bit of a concern this might be it for him with the Socceroos, considering he's had a rough start to the season?
No, look, I know Redders and know him well, and he's 34, 35 years of age, and he showed that when you need him at a tournament that he does well. So we're looking at not only just the next 6 months, but the next 4 years as well. And as I said, young Gouchy's done exceptionally well. Maynard Brewer's playing every week at Charlton, and it's important that we get the players in that are in form.
Arnie, you're saying you're focused purely on the qualifiers, but with this squad coming up, is there a chance that a few players will be looking to push their chances to get on that squad for the Asian Cup?
Yeah, look, as I said, it's my focus at the moment is these two games. The Asian Cup is in a month's time. I've got to put a long list out at the start of December. So, again, I've got that time to sit back now and, the A-League's only 3 games in. And then they're going to have another 10-day break for a FIFA window, which is great because then the players are all free for that. But, being able to sit back and watch the A-League players and their performances, I've pretty much gone the last 6 months just with overseas-based players because the A-League hasn't been playing. So it's hard to speak to those players about that because you're taking away the opportunity for them to play for their nation. But at the same time, they've got the time now to show me before the Asian Cup. But as I said, I'm just fully focused on these 2 games and the World Cup qualifiers.
And generally speaking on this squad, I don't know if you can think back 4 years ago to the other World Cup cycle, but how do you feel about the quality of this one versus the previous one?
Yeah, well, look, obviously, it's always, times change things, and with the retirement of Aaron Moy and Tommy Rogic and some of the older players that have moved on. It's it was important that we build the younger players and give them the opportunity. And I think you can see the success of us qualifying for the Olympics in 2020 in Tokyo. There's probably about 13 players that are in this squad, and it's great that this window. Tony Vidmar is also going to Saudi Arabia with the Olympic team, and some of the boys will get the chance there with Tony, and then they will develop over the next 6 months. So it's not just about today; it's also about the future.
Just with these upcoming games, are you willing to experiment with the side at all, or are you more looking for the certainty of qualification?
No, it's a World Cup qualifier. I think that, experimenting is over, and they were in those type of friendly games that I had. But now it's all about, getting the tactics right and getting the players on the pitch and their performance right and winning those games at all costs.
Yeah. And just quickly, are you aware of any desire for, I know like the Matildas get to play at the Olympics and go for gold. Do you reckon any of the men's players ever feel a bit of envy that that there's the age limit?
What do you mean?
Is there
the age
limit for the Olympics?
No, look, I have to say that, I was probably one of the last ones that played at the Olympics when it was over age in 1988 in Seoul. And, I think eventually, the way women's football is going, you probably will see the same. That'll be an under-23 tournament for the Olympics because it's a way to help develop the kids and that next generation coming through. Because the Olympics for me is the second biggest stage that footballers can get on after the World Cup, and that age group between 20 and 23 is crucial for people's and players' careers. And so I think eventually it may go down that avenue as the same as the men's did.
Arnie, you touched on the Socceroos there, and obviously there's going to be a lot of talk around these Socceroos boys are auditioning for the Asian Cup. But do you see those Socceroos boys in that Saudi Arabia game and that Qatar game, the they're auditioning for the Asian Cup just as much as the boys you've got here?
100%, Joey. It's you got to keep those. You got to keep your eyes open and aware because the kids. I do believe that international football is getting younger, and you know you got the kids coming through, and you want to keep that pathway going. You don't want to block it, and you know it's great. You know that again, I'll be watching them. I won't be able to watch them live, but I'll get the replay of it. But when they come to their tournament in April, I'll be going to watch and keeping my eye on them because at the same time, you know, you might be in day one next week of the campaign of the World Cup, but there is players probably with a question mark on whether they'll make those 4 years. So we've got to make sure that we've got Plan B ready and Plan C, and we're ready for whatever case scenario that is.
I know you don't like to talk about yourself, mate, but this Thursday you will set the new record for most games coached in.
I thought you were going to say most hated. Ah.
Maybe at some point, you will set the record for most games A internationals coached as Socceroos boss, breaking Frank Farina's record. I know how much you love representing Australia as a player or as a coach. How do you reflect on that, and what does setting that record mean to you?
Yeah, look, I look at it two ways. One way is I'd rather, in a lot of ways, not have the interim period, but the interim period that I did have was probably the best lessons I learnt in coaching. And but it's yeah, look, it'll be a fantastic honour, and Frank Farina to take over from Frankie is a great mate of mine. is a real honour. But 3 points is all that I care about, and boys.
Has there been any sort of reflection on it? Obviously, the journey you talked about before, how you've relaxed more and that sort of thing, and more comfortable in your own skin. How do you feel now you're at that point?
Yeah, but sometimes it's harder too because you realise that after you've achieved something special that you've got to keep on achieving that, and you don't want to drop those standards and those goals. So it's you know, as I said, the most important thing for me is the boys get in here fit on Monday, and we get 2 training sessions, and obviously we've got a great culture within the Socceroos setup, and the boys are ready to perform and get the job done for the nation.
So I know Uffy was only with the Socceroos again for a short while. Obviously, your reflection, Steve leaving Sydney FC, Uffy joining there. What does it mean for the Socceroos? Have you made any changes to the coaching structure?
Yeah, look, it was. I have to say, it was probably quite a surprise that so early in the A-League season, 2 managers had been moved on. Uffy was fantastic with us, but I always knew that his main goal was to get back to managing and coaching. So I accept that. Brad Maloney, the Joey's coach, will come in and take that role for this camp. But you know, further down the track, I'll obviously be looking probably for someone to help further down the track as well.
Beautiful. Just on Ali Chachati, obviously we've seen him play very well in his debut against New Zealand, and he's been killing it with Parma in Serie B. Do you see him keeping that starting role heading into this game against Bangladesh? Yeah,
look, again, it's going to be, you know, I'll have some headaches over next week to select a starting 11 because, you know, you got the 4 centre backs that I've picked in. Sakati is doing great at Parma, and Cam Burgess doing fantastic at Ipswich. Harry Sutter does what he does for us, and Kai Rolls has been outstanding for us. So, you know, I only can fit 2 of them in. You know, so it'll be a big decision when they get here. But as I said, overall, it's about getting our tactics right for these games. And look, I appeal to all the Melbourne fans to get out and support the boys. We've you know, it's been a really, really long time since we played here in Australia. You know, I was looking just the other day in my reign of 40, how many games? 44. I've played 9 games here in Australia. So we've been away a long time, and we've played a lot of football away from home, and you know, the boys just love coming back here so much and playing in front of the family, friends and fans, and it'd be great to see a full house.
And then just on Nathaniel Atkinson, obviously he's currently out injured, and we've seen Ryan Strain and Lewis Miller sort of step in those right-back roles. Do you see a potential pathway for him sort of fit his way into the team, yeah, obviously heading into the Asian Cup? Or
Are you talking about Nathaniel? Or
Nathaniel Atkinson, yeah.
Yeah, no, look, he's proven and shown what he can do for us. And, you know, he's obviously injured at Hearts, and again, the most important thing is he gets fit, he gets back on the field and gets match minutes and performs well, and we know what he can do.
You mentioned
Yeah.
at the start of the season. Is he still in the calculations? Is there still a path where he could help you in the Asia Cup or even in
Yeah.
Beyond?
No one is ruled out. As I said, you know, if maybe if Bruno had ended last season the way he started it, then I probably would have watched even closer. But you know, he's had a fantastic start to the season, and you know, under Popper, he's doing a great job, and so is Daniel Arzani. But you know, he didn't finish the season that way at MacArthur, and as I said, it's with that long off season, it hurts the players, but it hurts those 3 windows: September, October, November.
Just on the Saudi Arabia World Cup bid situation, was that a little bit of a shame for Australia there? And what did you think about the whole process?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been around that long, but look, I think we showed what we can, how good we can host events here in Australia with the Women's World Cup, and I think that you know, FIFA would have been looking closely at that because we did a fantastic job of hosting, and of course it would have been a fantastic occasion for the men's game as well if that occurred. But I think the Saudis might have had a bit more money.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk around the rise of Nestor Nkunda as of late, wondering when he's going to make breakthroughs, and obviously he's not part of this squad, but maybe even taking a step back from that, when you're looking at someone, a 17-year-old like him with the talent, but the maturing that he obviously needs to do as well, what sort of journey do you envision him taking in the national team setup before he becomes, well, in the hope that he realises his potential playing for the Socceroos?
Yeah, look, I went with the 17s to Thailand, and you know, Nestor did very well. I do believe he's obviously got that great relationship and everything with at Adelaide, and you know, they're there not only to support on the field but off the field as well. And he's got some great qualities. It's just probably getting more consistency with those qualities, and he's shown that he can do incredible things. But as I said, it's more about the consistency of it, and his next whatever that next pathway is.
We saw yesterday collective bargaining agreement reached for the Socceroos and Matildas the next 4 years. I think the last one, actually, we're on an interim one, so you don't have to worry about that for the next 4 years. I mean, your reflections on that, and I guess also if you maybe wish you had some of those business flights and business class flights and perks when you were a player.
Look, it's you know, it's very player centric these days, and you know, we're asking a lot from the players. You've got to understand that. You know, it's when you go over to Europe and you go around to the clubs and you see the clubs and you know where all the boys and girls are playing. It's you know, it's a big task for them. You know, when they do all that travel, and they deserve every cent they get. And as you know, the performance side of it, of course, and they keep that going well, then the game grows.